Did I do it? Hello? Can you hear me becomes the main question. And are there double me's or just one me? Because I've been trying to protect you. Get this together for a minute. All right? I have been trying. Because I don't normally use OBS for my YouTube streams. But I am trying it. There's pieces, of course, that, I'm going to have to go back and use StreamYard. I like both, but I like this one because it like pops your comments up or like right here and it makes like life a little bit easier. How are y'all? I'm so excited. Like, okay. All right. So the sound is being good. Listen, I'm not in my bag, but listen, I have pretty much every day has been almost a 12-hour workday. So first and foremost, I would like to thank my patrons and channel members, without whom I also would not be able to continue creating this wonderful, weird, fun, fantastic content, but also because it did allow me to hire a researcher. I didn't put the thumbnail on this because I wasn't sure if I was going to talk about this. But thank you for the love on my braids. I'm like, yay. Listen, I'm getting more braids soon-ish. I'm probably like, I still love the red, but I'm not sure what color I'm going to go with next, but I think my stylist is getting it. So like, yeah, it's been a rough time because my route is super long. And then I had this whole situation. If you follow me on TikTok, you know the situation that I had with my old apartment. I'm not going to pay them. I can't say it yet. We're not far enough into the live for me to say it, but also, sorry, I'm a noisy ass drinker. I try not to be, but like, I don't know how to drink without like gulping and like slurping. I'll try to mute the mic. Like when you first open it, it's real full. It's hard to like drink like a normal person. Anyway, Bo is loving the yard. We are having to get him some training because little dude is having some situations. Okay. I was thinking I'd go back to purple talon. Like maybe some purple cotton candy, purple pink mix. I think that I might try that one next. So today I'm going to be talking about something, and this is the eldest of tea. Okay. This tea has graduated from college and it now has a job and a 401k. This is elderly tea. It is an adult. It is hating its life because inflation is high. So, but I wanted to talk about this because I have literally been on this like weird roller coaster of trying to figure this out. And because of my work hours, I couldn't ever quite like sit down and figure out the situation. But like I said, thanks to the patrons and channel members, I have been able to hire a researcher to help me with this stuff because low-key, it's not an Audra live without slurps and burps. Thank you. Like, I've been wanting to talk about this since I really became aware of it because I don't know if y'all know about all the things that are going on with Nick is not Green, Green is not Nick. They're two channels, same guy, same odd little guy. I think he came to my attention because I feel like it was the Colleen Ballinger video, with the ukulele non-apology. Everybody calls it the ukulele apology, but there wasn't an apology in there. So it was like a weird ukulele song. And apparently, according to Mr. Peter Mon, she is back. Also, petition to get Peter Mon to come and shoot the shiz with me because I think that would be so fun. Feffy, yes, the T, in fact, did say, get off my lawn. Janet, just so that you know, from the Patreon members video I put out, I'm wearing it right now. So I am wearing the house labs. So Nick is Not Green is a commentary channel. And one thing I'm going to say right off the bat is like, I don't really like to talk smack on the type of content that most people do. Unless it's just like completely like trash, like Andrew Tate content like that. But I try not to talk crap about it, especially like in commentary and whatnot, because there's an audience for it. Even like the stuff I don't like I can tell you I don't like it, but there's an audience for it. It is who it is. And so he does commentary. I think I've watched like a few videos of his. I can't remember. I feel like I had subscribed at one time. I'm really not positive. Did I go back and check to see? No. I did not. Because I just did it. Honestly, like I sent a text to my friend Susan at work today, and I believe the text said that my ankles are screaming for life and the balls of my feet are trying to stage a coup from the rest of my body. So my feet have hurt. Like I've been working a lot. I'm standing and I have not been able to like wrap my brain around it. And so I was like, the only way I can continue to do commentary and do lives and enjoy them with like some modicum of thought is to have a researcher, because I need someone to like put all the pieces together so that I can understand what happened. So I do have a trigger warning, but for some reason it wasn't letting me pin it. It doesn't let me pin comments here. And I don't know if it was just like not letting me pin it. I don't know. It doesn't let me pin comments over here. So I'd have to go into my YouTube and I can't, listen, let me live my life. This is a content warning for SA. If that is like not, going to be good for your mental health, please escape. Please take care of yourself. You do not have to be here for this. I'm not that important. Like, let me it's not, you know what I mean? Just, I will not take offense. I won't be mad. So I'm going to talk about this in a weird way because the way that I'm seeing it, I'm going to try. Oh, you did see a pin, so I pinned it? Dang, Feffy, I'm just doing things I don't even know I'm doing. Okay. Natalie, I have good shoes. But I'm switching out of the boots that I have because I'm not thank you. It did pin. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. It is not appearing on desktop. Okay. Hi, M. Excuse me. I do have, before I get into the elderly tea, the graduated now has an MBA tea. I do, but currently the boots I have are now too heavy, because I lost weight. Not purposefully. I'm not doing it on purpose. So the boots I have are now too heavy. And they're just weighing me down. So I'm switching. I'm finding another set of like, it has to be over the ankle, and they have to be waterproof, because of the job. So I'm Black Friday. I know everybody's boycotting. Do you? But I have needs. I'm super sorry, everyone. But like, I have to do something about my feet. I have to do something for my feet. I'm like, as soon as I said the word feet, tears sprung to my eyes. I wish I was kidding. Like tears just like started welling up on the corner. Like my feet are so upset. Oh my God, I think I'm gonna cry. Anyways, like, so my feet hurt so bad. And I'm looking, and the boots that I'm gonna have to get are gonna be relatively expensive, and I'm at the point in my life where I do not care if I have to spend $250 every 3 to 6 months on these boots, whatever it takes, because I can't handle, like, I'm standing for 12 to 15 hours a day, just like the full weight of my body just like on my feet, so like it's a lot. All right, now into the tea. Sorry, if anybody wants to put a timestamp on when I actually start talking about this, feel free to do so because I won't get mad. For now, I'm keeping the lives up, but the same person that has lovingly and wonderfully allowed me to hire them for the research is also going to be doing some edits on videos. I may be doing more Twitches or streams on Twitch, excuse me, and then having them cut and brought over here, but we will see how that goes. Or I may just, listen, I'm making channels like you would not believe at this point. I have nostalgia. I may just have like a live channel where it's just like everything is a live stream, and if you were there, you were there, and then the rest will be like left, I guess, for patrons and channel members to be able to access after the stream, but then it'll get cut into a video. So we never know. We never know. Oh, Law Nerd Amber. H is not pronounced because, you know what? I took French for so many years, Talon. Natalie. And so, not so many. I had one really good French teacher and one terrible French teacher. The terrible one, this is back in the days where ADHD was like super frowned upon. Not like it's like highly looked at now, but really back in the day when it was like, you're just trying to pump our kids full of medicine. And the second French teacher, hated me because she would try to catch me off guard. But I was like, bitch, I got ADHD. I know what you just said. And I'm going to answer your question. Like, just because I'm over here scribbling and talking to other people doesn't mean I don't know what you just said. She gets so angry. So thank you, Fefi. Like, I was just like, no. Yeah, when you get new, like when you're on your feet all day, you just have to get like the correct shoes. Angela, thank you. Because I am about to listen, I just watched a movie for the next video. I'm probably going to be filming that Tuesday. So who knows when it comes out. I'm just making that face like, we don't know, because this is my life now. So into the Nick is not green, green is not Nick, elderly curdled cheese tea. Here are the players. You have Super Mega, which is Matt and Ryan. And I'm going to be looking over here too for my notes. Or should I look over here? I don't know. Who cares? And then you have a cosplayer who is Lex Dog. I believe on Instagram it's Lex Up Dog. And you're also going to have Nick is not green. You will then have Don. And it's sad that I said him here, and you will see why I'm saying where he is. Rose, I have to do research on that because I have to get some research into the Diddy Cassie situation. I need to find that out. I have a bunch of things that I've started setting up because like now that I have a researcher, like I'm losing my mind. I'm like, also research this and this. And I've really got to like calm down and be like, okay, I don't have that much money, but I do want to research and talk about these things. So you also watched Nick is not green, green is not Nick. Like, I call him both of the things because he has two channels, and one is Nick is not green and one is green is not Nick. So Nick is not green, green is not Nick. It just makes it easier for me. That's how my brain works. So what has happened is that Lex Dog was dating the former Super Mega artist Dawn. And she was I think Dawn was close friends with Matt and Ryan, as was she. I think they were all friends. And she and Dawn were dating. During the dating situation, an essay took place between her and Dawn. I believe her on that. I have experienced something like that. It's very difficult to talk about just because like people don't understand how essay can take place in a consenting relationship, but you can revoke consent at any point in time. Just throwing that out there for all of you who think that you can't. Yes, you can. You can be married. You can revoke consent. You don't have to. So I just want to say that. So, Lex told Matt about the assault, and Matt said that Super Mega is his magnum opus and he would hate for something to mess it up. And apparently allegedly he said that to a lot of people. And then there was like a live stream that took place with Leighton, who I don't know who that is exactly. They're just another random player in this game. I did kind of start watching that video. It was a little awkward because Matt and both of them, Matt and Ryan, had videos responding to this situation, the homophobia and all of that. And so that is what happened there. So the gist of that is Lex was with Super Mega and with Dawn, experienced SA, reported it, felt like nothing was done, and was like, that sucks, right? And then she made a video, talked about it. So here's the thing. Nickisnot Green then comes along and he makes this video. Now, Lex is supposed to be his friend because she's dating his best friend, Ethan, or close friend. I don't know if men say best friend. Do men say best friend? Because truly, I do not know. Are men like, that's my best friend? But so this is where it gets a little murky, right? A little weird, because I find it very interesting personally. This is the reason I got interested in this, is because when I heard what happened and that NickisNot Green made this video and claims that it was to speak out for victims, I was like, huh? Because when everything shakes out, when it all shakes out, I'm going to try to like summarize this as best as I can. But when it all shakes out, it doesn't feel like that at all. Like, I feel like with Nickisnot Green, it is very much one of those situations where I'm like, with friends like these, who needs enemies? And I'm not laughing at the whole thing. I'm literally like aghast. Like, I can't. So Nick makes a video on this whole thing, and it really comes off more as a hit piece against Super Mega. Like, he does not seem all that interested in Lex's SA, who he's supposed to be making this video on behalf of. Like, he said that she said he could make the video, but still. So at the top of this pyramid, the most important thing that has happened is that Lex experienced SA. Where we are now is that Super Mega, it sucks, maybe not. Nickisnot Green sucks, maybe not. Someone who unalived themselves is being spoken of. I'm not going to say this person's name because I just don't want any more like negativity towards their like whole thing. So all these other people are here, and Lex is not getting any justice for the situation. Dawn is just off scot-free, and it feels very awkward. Like, I can't really imagine in my life telling someone close to me about something terrible that happened to me, them making a video about it, using it as a hit piece against a group that they obviously have a hate boner for. And they do it in such a cavalier and callous way. And so Matt and Ryan had responded to Lex kind of in a business sense, which wasn't great, but also it's a business, and that's the sucky part about business. I'm not defending it. I'm just laying everything out, I guess. So responds about it in that way. And yes, but Peter is not a cishet. He is not a straight man. That is the whole thing. So what ends up happening is that they waited to talk to Dawn about it, to discuss the whole situation. They end up firing him after some point in time because he did, in fact, do that. And they did just let him go. They didn't tell everybody why, which was a choice. That was a choice. And the way that Nick made his video was not really impactful of what happened to Lex. So Lex tells a story. So like, let's make the pyramid again. I'm sorry, I'm doing a terrible job, but like, I'm sweating profusely and I was almost crying earlier. So Lex starts this out by saying, this happened to me. I experienced SA, and the guys at Super Mega really didn't do enough at the time to make me feel comfortable, and that's why I don't really like vibe with them, right? And then Nick makes a video again, basically essentially like a hit piece, making jokes about them, like getting about the guys from Super Mega getting punched, and just like really not discussing her story. He also doesn't use the word alleged when calling Don, let's see, what's the word that we can use? A hex offender. We're going to use hex. He doesn't use the word allegedly, just says like, yeah, because he hasn't been charged with anything. He was simply let go, and like everybody moved on. So Nick wants to say that this video wasn't about money or clout, and maybe it wasn't. Maybe he just really hates everybody from Super Mega. But he keeps trying to stand on this, I did this for victims, and this is why victims don't come out. And it doesn't feel like that, because if it was about her story and what she was going through, all of the extraneous BS, the like showing of them getting punched repeatedly, talking smack about Super Mega's content, all of that wouldn't be there. Do you know what I mean? Like, why would you have all of that there? If it's really about her, then we should just be talking about how she was not heard, right? And she experienced this thing. And we needed to be talking about like how a lot of businesses, especially on YouTube, because like the bigger your channel gets, the more that you're a business, right? But how YouTube businesses specifically often don't do enough to help the victim in these situations. Because like that was Super Mega was their big thing. They were super proud of this thing. They didn't want to see it collapse. It did anyway, but they didn't want to see it collapse. So they tried to like finagle and finesse the situation, which you can't do when it comes to these kinds of things. I'm not saying they handled it poorly or well. I'm just saying they tried to finagle it the best that they knew how, because actually who does know how to handle this without having like an actual HR team, without having any training, you know what I mean? Like, and again, this isn't defense. This is like the weirdness of YouTube as a business. It's the fact that many of us don't know the first thing about how you would handle this situation. We can say all we want out loud, like, oh, I would just fire them immediately and like blah, 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 blah. But like realistically, we don't know how we would handle a lot of things until we're in the situation. Like I have tons of like awesome clapbacks after shit's over, right? Absolutely not. Look at how they haven't done a damn thing to have used their platform. Exactly. And like, that's the thing. As like in YouTube, I feel like it's a weird space, because if you really like look at a lot of YouTubers who have gone to jail for that, like actual prison for that, and murder. I want to say it that way so maybe I don't get in trouble from the like the demons. But like Emma said, yeah, owning your own business and having employees is way different in real life than in your head. Yeah. So again, I'm not going to be like, oh, they did a terrible job. They handled it super poorly. I'm also not going to say that they did well. I'm going to say it was fairly difficult, I think, to try to figure that out when you just don't have all of those pieces in play. I think a lot of us think that when somebody gets to, 1 million, 2 million, 3 million subscribers, they have this team, they have, HR, that like a lot of times they're still just hiring people like I would hire somebody today. Just like I hired somebody. I think a lot of them are still doing that. They're not, because that's how you start this. You don't really start this getting an HR, and you don't really start this with like loads of contracts between everybody that you hire. You just look at some stuff and see that somebody's doing a good job, you hire them. And when it's time to get rid of them, you can leave them with a severance or whatnot, which they have done. But Nick has handled this like every YouTuber has ever handled anything where they've messed up. So they have handled this. He's pretty much handled this by wanting to, because he apologized, but basically was like, well, I just wanted to be the first person to cover it, and nobody was really talking about it. He knew that it would come with like tons of views. He knew that. He knew that making the video and being first, like we all talk about that, even in beauty YouTube, about the importance of being first, because everybody watches your video. Your video becomes the go-to video often that people refer to in their videos talking about the situation, right? So like, there's multiple videos that I have referred, been like, oh, well, Peter talked about this, or do we know them podcast? Like I'll refer back to whomever I saw it if you wanted some additional information, et cetera, et cetera. So that being the case, he made these videos and then he didn't bother to like wait or like get any information from Super Mega before he just made the video. And for me personally, I feel like when it comes to allegations of SA, of grape with a G, when it comes to like anything criminal, like I feel in my heart of heart and soul of souls that we should at least try, if we can, have access to those people, ask them about, or at least be like, hey, I'm making this video, it's going up, you might want to prepare a response. Like drama channels do that, especially when they know something really intense. Speaking of Peter Mon, if you go back when he's talking about, he has a payola 3.0, 2.0, I can't remember the name of the video, but he talks about how all this happens. Like a lot of them do that when they're going to make a video, when they're like, hey, you probably want to get in front of this because I'm going to be, making a video about this, like that. And they tell you that. The fact that he didn't do that is odd. So then he like makes his apology, and it's not really an apology. He's just like, it was what it was. It's not a terrible apology, but he's just kind of like, yeah. But then he deletes it. And then everything goes wild on Instagram. Now this I'm going to read because this is the most YouTuber of YouTuber apologies that I have seen in a really long time. Like you know how YouTubers go on their like F all you haters, F all you hoes rants? That is what Nick did. He went on a like F all you haters, F all you hoes, and basically sat here and let me go back right quick. One of the things that, because I do talk about the person who is no longer with us on this plane and has graduated to the other plane. And because of this video, this hit piece that Nick threw out, they had left up a video in honor of somebody. And now that video has tons of awful comments, which y'all, that's like, come on. Don't be like that. Like, please don't. For everybody doing that, can y'all just, if you're doing that, if you happen upon this video, if y'all are doing that, can you just go delete your comment? Because that's really shiesty. Like, that's a memorial for somebody. Like, don't ruin people's memorials with your hate. Like, it's gross. Okay, so it really is YouTuber apology to a T. Like it like every okay, this is the cycle of YouTuber F-ups. They mess up, they apologize poorly. Then they take down the apology. Then they come out here like Foxy Brown. If all you haters, if all you hoes, you got too much times on your hands. Fuck a dime, I'm a silver dollar. Holla. Like that is what happens to these people. That is the next level. So he basically says, I'm going to be reading this for you. He says, I think, hold on, because I can't see y'all. I'm old and I'm blind. So I'm like, I am elderly, just like this tea. And it's like people who will say anything to defend people who cover up grape and continue to be friends with rapists. With grapists. Sorry, grapists. Don't get mad at me. Not y'all, YouTube. Just food for thought before you mindlessly and endlessly fight for someone you don't know. Thumbs up emoji. Sometimes you wonder why people don't stand up for or stay quiet about SA victims, and it's because it results in thousands of people calling them liars and harassing them off of the internet for any reason they can find. It happens every single time. I'm talking to you right now, Nick. The reason that a lot of SA people, like that, when this has happened and they don't like to come forward, especially in this platform, is because people like you take their trauma and use it to like write a hit piece for the hate boner that they have for another group of people. Like she was just collateral damage Lex was collateral damage in whatever hatred you have for Super Mega, which is wild. Like, that's the thing that's why I even got even like remotely interested in what had happened here, because I literally could not believe and understand how, because all this stuff kept coming out about all these other people, and my mind kept zeroing back in on, so what happened to Dawn? Are we talking about Dawn? How's Lex doing? She all right? No, we don't. Oh, we don't. Oh, I'm just getting reports that we don't know because it stopped being about that. Okay. So he finishes his statement by saying, you guys should shut the F up and think about why none of their friends, peers stand up for them or back them up on any of this. It's embarrassing. My favorite YouTube line, go get a job. What? Yeah. Go get a job. When a YouTuber who makes money, like doing YouTube, tells people to go get a job, I don't know what to say to that, because these are the same people who will tell you in your face, YouTube is a job. They will tell you that. They'll be like, YouTube is a job, like that, and it is. I agree. But why are you telling everybody else to go get a job? Like, you also don't know these people. Okay. He says he ends up calling them losers if your favorite content creator wants to be uncanceled. Like, he calls people losers for following. And here's the thing. I don't agree with calling people losers who follow somebody. I think that's weird, because the same could be said about the people who are actively defending you, Nick. Like, that's where it is. Like, people could call them losers. I'm not going to do that, because I think that people, and not because I'm better than anybody, I'm mean and spiteful and hateful, and I will drag you to hell if I have to. But I'm not going to do that, because I think that parasocial relationships are fairly complicated. I think that the reasons that people like following you are what they are, and it's deeper than people want to give it credit for, because they want to think that they're better than everybody else. But like, it's weird as shit to start calling people's followers like losers and telling them that they're losers, because again, you're calling your own fan base losers, because like, you literally did some really shady shit. Now you're going on as if this didn't happen. Like, you're just making videos over and over and over, as if like this didn't have stairs and disabled, not disabled, Feppy. Go get a job. You're like, I cannot do such a thing, and you have crushed my hopes. So I'm gonna link these videos because they will have it in more detail. I have Unpoetic Justice, who has a really good video. I will be linking these because they will have like a whole, like, there'll be I feel like there's just gonna be like way more information. I'm more interested in the fact that I don't understand how this is why women don't come forward. This is why people in general who are assaulted don't come forward, because especially again here, because you can like really take this back. You can look at what happened with James Charles. You can look at like every time somebody else uses their story of what happened to them for clout for them. And this is like worse than that. Like, I can't even understand how somebody would tell me that they are my friend and like use my essay story, as Nick has done, for like, it's not even just clout at this point. It's like, it's the hate boner that bothers me. Like, that's what I just can't. And I'm just like, now I'm just like, so hey Lex, how you doing? Are you okay? Is everything all right? How you holding up? Are you doing okay? I hope you're okay. I hope that you are having a good day, and that if you like strawberries, that they are delicious and the perfect sweet strawberry for you. Nick is not green. Green is not Nick. I don't know you. I don't want to, but I think you should evaluate your priorities. You know what I mean? Like, evaluate who you are. Yeah. something something parasocial relationships, a dude who has people defending him because he talks about. Yeah, and this is again why, like, there's two main points that make me just, what is happening here and why are you like this? The one is that you took your friend's essay story to like throw out a hit piece on some other people that you don't like. The other is that you're acting just like every YouTuber who's ever gotten into any shit and just being like, all y'all are haters and y'all suck, and you still stick your, like, you don't care that your audience is like attacking in other places. You're not really doing or saying anything to stop them from doing that. It's just wild. You know what I mean? Like, this is why, like, there's like the one part of you when you're like, when you're neurodivergent, there's a part of you that's like, I would absolutely, like, this would be such a great job because I would actually be able to like be on my demon time. That's what I call it's not sexy time. I call my demon time because I'm up at weird hours and I'd be able to work comfortably and, have a nice time. But I just feel like what happens when you get to this level where you just like, the cognitive dissonance is so real that you can't, like, you're like, what? Who? Like, what's happened here? I just think that when did this stop being about Lex? It started with Lex and it ended with like super mega sucks and Nick did a bad apology, and it should literally be like, hey Lex, I hope you're doing all right. Thank you for having the strength to come forward and talk about that. I know it was hard. I know that there are people who are like, there was a lot of weird, unnecessary stuff in the story. And I just want to say that many people, not just me, many people in general who have experienced SA, when they do tell the story, it does have a lot of stuff. It's traumatic. And therapy would actually tell you to do things like that, to not just like ram through the whole story, because doing so is actually quite stressful for your system. Like everybody, when you're telling a story, you have to detour. If you're telling something traumatic, take these little detours because it's like super stressful to talk about. And then to talk about it to bunches of people who are going to say like mean things to you, rough time. So I hope she's doing well. I hope she's doing okay. Now, on another note, because y'all are talking about this Cassie Diddy settlement, and I think I want to look into it. While we are here talking. Okay. I'm Googling it right now. Listen, I still love that song. Boo, 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 boo. I've been waiting so long. I can't sing anymore because they'll get me. They'll get me. Ooh, my goddess. Okay. Well then. If we're going to be here, then I guess we're going to be here. So I am looking at, of all things, the New York Times, but we'll just let that go. So Cassie settles lawsuit accusing Sean Combs of rape and abuse. The R&B singer Cassandra Ventura and the music mogul did not disclose terms of the settlement, which came one day after one day. What? T's having a live about it? Holy smokes, I didn't see it. I missed it because, I've been just sitting sweating. Call the FBI. That's all I gotta say. I'm not gonna talk about it too much more because T's gonna be talking about it. Call the FBI. M. I'm not laughing like, haha. I'm laughing like, oh my God. Oh my God. One day. She filed the complaint and they reached a settlement the next day. Not only was that quick, like, I'm sitting here in shock. I don't know what that man did, but he did not want that going anywhere. He did not want any of that out. Yeah, Feffy, you don't settle that fast if shit is not funky about it. I'm sorry. He did not want that out. Because listen, I know everybody has their issues with Aubrey O'Day from Danity Kane. I love me some Aubrey O'Day. Just, I don't care. I'm so sorry if you're mad at me because I love Aubrey, but I love Aubrey, okay? And she was telling everybody, this is like record deal stuff. She was telling people, do not, because Diddy was like, I'm going to sell you back your, what are those things? You know, your OGs, your stuff. He was gonna sell them back their music. And she was telling them, you don't want to do this because there's an NDA included where you would not be able to say anything bad about Diddy, his record label, like any of that. Once he sold you back your rights or whatever they are. We all knew Diddy was dirty. Yeah, I'm sure it's to stop that book from being written. Sounds guilty if I ever heard it. Like, I'm sorry. Masters. I don't, here's why I don't remember that, because I've been slowly but surely trying to eradicate that word from my memory for obvious reasons. The court document has a trigger warning. Ooh. Here's the wild part. I have decided to resolve this matter amicably on terms that I have some level of control. Cassie, whose full name is Cassandra Ventura, said in a statement. I want to thank my family, fans, and lawyers for their unwavering support. 93, I really don't know any Diddy songs. I truly don't. Like, I know he's been on songs going, and I feel like he had to get on like one of the Danity Kane songs, which ruined it. I literally, like, I've never seen anything like that. I've never seen anything like that in my life as an adult who paid attention to things happening. I've never seen anything like that. One day she filed and he was like, ooh, no, here you go. Is it now called Cassie Records? Because Ventura Records for life. That was a little untoward. I should apologize for that. Let me just be over here being sorry. I'm sorry. Not me saying that. Okay. So T's gonna talk about it more in more depth, and I bet T has like super information, and she's gonna say it all like smart and intelligent, and I'm over here like, damn. It should be called Cassie Records. I think it should. Like, I'm having a hard time. Like, I can't. Could we also, while we're at it, could we just like fast forward and get some justice for Kesha instead? Thank you. Can we do that? Thank you. Because now suddenly everybody's abandoning that dude. That's what's killing me. Can we like, because everybody was on his side and not doing smack and like whatever. And I need to figure out the name of that man's name, like, because I can never remember his name. Um, Dr. Luke, which it should be a very easy remember, but like now all of a sudden nobody wants to work with Dr. Luke, but everybody was like standing behind him and like, or just saying nothing. I'm just saying, these men. These men, and like, especially when you're looking at hip hop and you really look at how they treated these women, and then and then they said Dr. Luke is just a nightmare, but then you like really look at, like, it's just very frustrating to watch this just keep coming round and round, like over and over and over again. And it's like, this is why this is why women don't say anything, because it's like all of this is male dominated. But you know that whatever Diddy did, all of the things he did were so terrible that he was like, I literally cannot risk anyone hearing anything. Because for those of you who don't know, Diddy's been on a downswing for a while now. Many people on YouTube have made videos about how Diddy destroyed everybody's careers, including Danity Kane. Because Diddy's been like, he has been like, there's rumors, alleged rumors, that he was the one who was behind the end of Biggie. Allegedly. Don't anybody come for me. I'm just saying that those were the rumors. And then there are other people who are like, why would he do that? Because Biggie was his meal ticket. But, you know, fame makes people do weird things sometimes. So, I feel like this was like a lot of like horrible news. So we gotta find like some good news, something fun and sweet, something joyful. What time is it? Because we gotta go and hang out with T. Even Dr. Dre and Woody. Oh God, yes. Michelle A. They do. Like, I just, even for anybody who can't see, it says even Dr. Dre and what he did to Michelle A. It's amazing how they not only traumatize these women but also ruin their careers. Yes, because like Cassie was like a good little studio artist, right? And then he just kept trotting her out for live, and she just really wasn't ready for that, and he didn't really get her prepped for that. And that really wasn't her deal, you know? Like, she had her little thing and her little video where she was giving us like the bare minimum. And I was like, give me nothing, sis. I love that video. You know why I love it? Because people make fun of it. But you know why I love it? Because I could do those dance moves, okay? Because there's multiple dance moves where I think that I am slaying and that I am hitting it hard. And then I see the playback. I play it back, you know? And I realize I look like I'm having a seizure. I don't look good. You know, I don't look good. You know, I think I'm hitting like, you know, this, like the swirl move, like all hot and sexy. I'm not. Looks like I'm trying to hula hoop, the largest hula hoop ever invented. It's bad. I think I'm doing like the little hand movements. I'm like hitting those. I'm like, yeah. I'm not. Again, looks like I'm having a seizure or trying to hail a cab. I don't look good. But when that video came out and she was like barely moving, like bam, 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 bam. I've been waiting so long. I was like, I can do that. I can do that. I couldn't dance like Britney, but I could dance like Cassie. And that, you know, honestly, well, no, it's not that she's not a good dancer. It's that they weren't like, he wasn't giving her all the complicated, like boppy bop bop bops. Like, she's not a bad dancer. She's just like, it was good dancing. I could do it. Right? I can't Britney. I could, you know who else I could do? Mandy Moore. I'm missing you like candy. The girlies were out there doing the most. Do you see what I'm saying? It was a good time. Also, speaking of traumatizing women, can somebody please explain why SNL thought it would be a good idea at all to do like a joke about Britney Spears after all the jokes they did about Britney Spears? They couldn't just leave her the fuck alone for 5 minutes? They couldn't? I'm just asking a question. They couldn't just leave her alone. They couldn't just like let her live. They're like, let's make fun of her. No. Thank you, Mel. Hi. Of course he was. I just saw on TikTok somebody who said like 40% of teenage pregnancies are for young women are by men between the ages of 20 and 29. And those are the ones who reported, you know what I mean? So. And then all the way in the comments, it was just like loads and loads of young women being like, I was 13, he was 22, I was 16. Like, it was horrible. Listen, anybody will date Puffy sometimes. There's a lot of people who like just try to do too much for their career, and it's like, let it go. I would never, like, even without any of these allegations, okay? Diddy is only attractive with sunglasses on. The moment those come off, he looks like a bug. And I would not be able to handle that on the regular unless he never took them off, like all day, every day in sunglasses. Because if he took them off and showed me those small, weird, beady eyes, I'd just be like, we're breaking up immediately. I can't. Why do you look like that? I don't know. It's not nice to make fun of people's appearances, but, you know, in this case, I'm making an exception. I'm allowed to do that. You can come in the comments and be like, oh, you're a hypocrite. I never said I wasn't. Thank you. I am a hypocrite. I will continue to be a hypocrite. I never claimed to be non-hypocritical. I will always have a bias. Yeah, I will always think these like kinds of people are gross. I think SNL made worse jokes on that especially episode, but the Britney one was also garbage. Like, here's the thing. I feel like I think that we're in 2023, and every year that we move forward, we should be understanding more about like mental health, what's funny to make fun of and what isn't. Like where we can joke and where we can't joke, right? Like I was telling M today a funny story about how I was like, yeah, it's, you know, like autistic honesty. And when you're like, just completely, your battery's completely charged, everything's well. And then you're just like beyond your regular honest, and how like, that's how I passed my, like rocks, geo rocks, you know, the earth rocks. I don't remember. I'm old. It's not geography. It's geology. There we go. Geology. How I passed geology in college. Because I had to take a science and I just really didn't want to. And like that one was quote unquote, as Em said, rocks for jocks. And I finally walked up to the professor. I was like, listen, bro, here's the tea. I don't give a shit about these rocks. And I will be in this class again and again and again, because I'm just trying to take my earth sciences class that they require me to take. So, and the man didn't just pass me. He gave me a B. He didn't just be like, oh, here's a C, you're pass. He gave me a B to ensure I wouldn't return. Earth rocks. That's what it should be called, Earth rocks class. So like, I just feel like there are things that you can joke about, right? Like, and I can joke about it myself with my own thing, but somebody else doing it who's not my friend and not close to me, not funny. And I feel like we've evolved past the point of making fun of when people have emotional, mental breakdowns. Like, I feel like we've evolved past that's not a funny joke. And it's really weird that they would think that would be okay, especially because it very much feels like absolutely nobody read the book, because I just feel like if they had, they would never have done that. Because one of the main things that she was talking about in her book was about the way that the paparazzi and the press and all these people who don't know her are making fun of her and making like jokes about her at her expense, and she just couldn't get away from it. And then SNL's like, isn't it funny that she wrote this book about her horrible experiences in life and the child that she lost? Like, yeah, let's make jokes. Listen, I have side-eyed Katy Perry for a very long time. I have side-eyed Katy Perry for a very long time. Yeah, it really is though. It's just, it doesn't make any sense to like be making fun of people like that. It's gross. It's disgusting behavior. Like I just want, if I were going to make like a resolution for the new year, it would just be like, can people just let people live and like have their mental health episodes and be able to like talk about them freely, and then not have you make a whole joke about it and think that it's funny. My previous coworkers did this. I am so glad for the coworkers I have now. Yeah. Does anyone still watch SNL? No. Here's the thing about SNL. Like many like late night talk shows and whatnot, my personal opinion, I'm gonna have to look it up one day. Personal opinion is that they are being kept alive by clips on YouTube. That's it. Like nobody's watching the actual show. Like I like some of the super old SNL, but like They're surviving with clips on YouTube because nobody, I feel like there's not a lot of people watching like actual SNL. People have dehumanized Britney for her entire life, so I'm not surprised they're turning the book into another opportunity. Yeah, and it was a really, like, listen, I truly do feel like that book was well written. Yes, I know there's a ghostwriter, but there is for virtually all of these people, so stuff it. I feel like it was very well written, well written. It was poignant, and it really was just her taking back her narrative and telling things from that time from her side. That's all. It wasn't, like I said in my video about the book. It wasn't intended, and I don't think because she's actually really too sweet and kind for that. I don't think it was really intended to like come after everybody and spill tea and humiliate everyone. It was just for her to talk about like what she was going through at that time. Like, come on. Oh, the cowbell skit is legendary. Yeah. I liked the Gap Girls. That was funny. That was actually quite hilarious to me. Obviously, there's stuff that won't hold up, but yeah. I've had my own mental health issues the past year and a half. I'm surprised I'm still here sometimes. Same. I give credit to therapy and working out, working on myself. Everyone's journey is different. Yes. Every day I'm surprised I've made it. I'm going to like just to be frank, and you can be Susan today. Every day is another new struggle for me. Like, I am happy because I am deeply sad. I'm having a hard time. I especially start having a hard time around this time of the year, not because like, oh, it's the holidays, it's fun. It's because it's the holidays and I know that my workload is going to quadruple and I just like don't want to do it. Like, one day I'm going to have enough vacation saved up where I'm quite literally going to take off like the entirety of December. I'm just going to save all my vacation so that I don't have to be at work during most of December, because it's hateful. Like, no. There are so many people who have proven that you can be hilarious without tearing down other people. For real. Like, you can really like be funny. Like, it would have been funny if they were even like doing things like showing like her and Justin in the cheat outfit because she knew it was corny and she said so. But he did it, you know? And now he's back with NSYNC. Reunion tour. Thought you were too good, Justin. What's going on? Is your movie career not popping the way you wanted it to? Listen, you can't really take him seriously as an actor because he's not actually that good of an actor. He's not terrible, okay? I'm not saying he's terrible. He's not great. And he's not necessarily mid. It's like mediocre. It's indie movie acting. And that is not a slight to indies. It's just like from the 90s, okay? I gotta specify. Indie movie acting from the 90s, where if you look at their performance in that movie as a whole, it's good. But amongst actors, you know, and then you see them get better. But he didn't ever get past that. Are you talking about Timothy Chalamet? I'm going to call him everything but his real name. Yes. You know what, Janet? When I saw Justin doing that dance and it was just like terrible, I was like, that's what you get. That's karma. That is karma. You losing your sweet dance moves and moving like like an old dad. Karma. That is what you deserve. Timothy Chalamet, Shlam, Timothy Chalamet, Timothy Chalamet. It's the extra ease and all the, like, I feel like his name is extra for what? Not ramen noodle bobblehead. Timothy Chevrolet. You have that Timothy Chevrolet. Timothy sure. I'm gonna look at it. How do you say it? Thank you, irradiated woman. It took me a second. Timothy. It should be simple. It should just be like Chalamet. But now, because he's a Le Douchebag, I'm going to call him Timothy Chalamet. And that's what he's going to be called. Tim Chalamet. That's his name. I will find, listen, I'm probably not going to find any of the things that I have lost anytime soon, but I'm hoping to do so. I never found mine, and I have no idea where I left it. Come back into focus. There we go. You can see my lights back here. You can see my... Oh, I can't point properly. That's my... I've never hung that, and I was so happy when I hung it. I was like, look at me being a winner. And then that's my little microwave back there. I don't know how to move my fingers. And did you see that? That's... I'm moving my finger. That right there is Jason Voorhees. Okay. I keep finding lighters everywhere. Oh my gosh. I feel like there's one more thing. Like, we have to end on like positivity and joy. We have to have some like ha 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 ha, some S's and G's. Does anybody have any S's and G's? Halloween is always going to be my favorite. Apparently his first name is Timothée. No, it's not. It's Tim. Steven, don't be out here telling lies. It's Tim. Tim Chalamet. Are Timothy Shamambert and Benedict Crumbly Bits distantly related? I can't. Please. Somebody said some help. Oh my god. Oh, Jesus. Okay. I feel like T is live right now. And so, hold on. Let me... I'm like, I'm missing it, and I don't like to miss my good Judy. I don't like to miss her content if I can help it. Because I get like... I get sweaty when I do. Not crumbly bits. Did he get married? I feel like everybody was like all into the Benedict crumbly bits. But did he get married? Yay or nay? I feel like no. Oh my god. Did you say PST? Oh my god. That is 9 p.m. I will, I am old. I can't handle that. I'm like, I'm old. I'll be like laying in bed. I am NCIS old. Listen, I watch NCIS now. Like, oh my god. Maisha, are you talking about Rubik's Cube guy? Because yes. Listen, Jack Harlow has all the white boys on TikTok doing the most. And by the most, I mean the good kind of most. Not like the scary most. Not the Confederate flag most. Not the Trump hat most. But like the thirst trap most. Okay? It's very... They're out here talking about a white boy winter. I don't believe in that, but like they're talking about it. It's a little wild. It's a little wild. Thank you, Em. We'll go ahead. Like when we're like, I'll link y'all to that. Oh my God, Stephen, you don't know who Jack Harlow is? He sang that song, you know? He was like, I can't remember. was like, he sang that song, you know? I can hear it in my head, but I can't sing it. I literally can't breathe. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I just like started. Oh, this is my work makeup. I'm like messed up. Like, this very much reminds me of me trying to explain Anne Hathaway to M one day. I literally just kept going, M. I was like, M, Anne. She was in that movie. She got the brown hair. She was in the movies. Anne. Devil Wears Prada. Anne. Jack, I'll fly you from Korea to Kentucky Harlow. It's the only valid line because it's so cringe. It's funny. So here's the thing. Listen, first of all, Steven, I don't appreciate the sarcasm there. I can feel the sarcasm, okay? I can smell it. Apparently it was a very memorable song. Listen, I don't get the Jack Harlow thing, okay? Because a lot of people, especially people of a brown hue like mine, think that he is foine. I don't get it. I think it's just because he has curly hair and he's white. Not just the movie. You expected me to not know the cast of The Devil Wears Prada. I just wanted to say my husband worked for UPS, so I am thinking of all the postal workers, package handlers, etc., and us retail workers too. Yeah, it's going to be a nightmare. I think when you work in retail and you do like any kind of logistics, the holidays you just hate it. I was a fashion student in the early 2000s. I know that movie well. Yeah, sorry. Yes. I have a headlamp I have to wear to deliver mail. Yeah, they think he's foine. Like, listen, if I could work all of the things on this the way that I can on StreamYard, I'd be like dropping some TikToks in here. But like, bro, like the Rubik's Cube guy, y'all need to, if you have TikTok, go look up Rubik's Cube guy. If you don't, when I get off this live, what I'm going to do is, all right, I'm going to do you a little favor, all right? I don't do this often. I'm going to do it for you. I will go to my Instagram stories. I'll put the Rubik's Cube guy there. You'll hear the Jack Harlow song. You'll see the Rubik's Cube guy. You don't owe me anything for this, all right? It's a freebie. Yeah, the trend is like bringing out, like, we're all just like, ooh. Because the thing is, what it's bringing to the yard is like, here's the thing. As we all know, when I like men, they have to look like a rat. Pointy nose. Like, and it's white men very specifically. Like, if it's a white guy, he has to have rat-like features or I'm not interested. If you are like one of those like square jawed, like Chris Hemsworth type, no. Like, Chris Hemsworth himself could walk in the door right now and be like, Audra, he's Australian. I can't do it right now. But he would just be like, very Australian with his question. You want me to take you out of here? And I'd be like, no, I don't like you. I like this Audra personality. Thank you. Maybe you get the rat thing as well. Yeah, it's like something about like but Ed Sheeran is a redhead. You either have to look like a rat or be a ginger. If you have both of those things, we are going to live together and not have relations because that's how I want it. But like, that's what's going to happen. Thank you. I don't Like the Hemsworths aren't hot. There's a lot of them. The Hemsworth and those other ones. You know what I'm talking about? Them blonde Adonis dudes from like Sweden. He was it. His brother was on that thing with Sookie Stackhouse. It's the way that my mind like does this like little, it just like slowly goes tick, 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 tick. You talking small, pasty, and pointy or tall and pointy? Tall and pointy. Like being tackled by a skeleton. Yes. Tall and pointy. But also in the face. Like Kevin from Backstreet Boys. You know? Adrian Brody. Adam Brody. He's less rat looking, but yeah. Skarsgård. Thank you. The way I'm like, there's a lot of them. Blonde. They're in movies. I'm like, his brother wasn't it. And I didn't even say the first one's name. Like, now that I think about it, I'm like, his brother wasn't it. And he was the one with Sookie Stackhouse. Literally. I love y'all. The fact that you were like Skarsgård, and I'm just over here like, putting on this nasty rose lip salve because, listen, I like it, but I'm telling you, I really like the salve. The lip salve is really nice. From, what are they called? Starts with an N. My brain is doing the thing where it's just like, it's filtering and it won't grab a hold of it. But I love that, but it does stink. It does, the stench kind of gets on your nerves. Cause it's not stinky, it's rose. It's like English rose smelling, which is not good. Yeah, like I don't like Adam Driver. I get that people like him, but no, it's that, Nomad Cosmetics. There we go. Like Kevin, and here's the thing. As he's gotten older, he's gotten more defined in his rat-like nature. And I like it. I'm like, I'm going to start doing that. Like, I was going places, seeing a rat-faced man and being like, and they're just going to be like, what the fuck is happening? This is why I have to get famous. This is the reason that I need to be like famous and recognizable. If only for that. Just like YouTube famous, not like actually famous. Just so that when I saw a rat-faced man, they would take it as a compliment when I'm like, and they would just be like, yes, I'm attractive. And they'd get to live their best life. Keanu Reeves is life, okay? The hair. Okay. So, girl mating call. First of all, this might upset people. This might cause people to want to tussle. But it does depend on height, on whether or not I am the dom or you are. If you are shorter than me, you are not winning. I'm so sorry. I'm going to be a boss. Also, I'm the boss. I've always been in these, every time. I'm the boss. I'm the bossy one. Unless those like really tall Amazonian women, but they're from like Sweden and Switzerland. Obviously, that's not the Amazon, but you know what I'm talking about. Them Viking ass bitches. I'll be quiet. Studs. I'm not going to be quiet. I'm going to get on your nerves, but hi. I'm going to be a girly girl. I'm going to wear a dress, babes. That will be your mating call, so watch out. I'm going to take my time getting ready. So when I'm, I'm taking my time. I'm like, let me get ready, girl. Yeah. I haven't seen Wonder Woman. I have a bad listen, I'm gonna tell you a secret. I absolutely I do not I don't like Wonder Woman. I'm sorry. I have been polite about it because one of my, dear friends from a long time ago, loves Wonder Woman. I've been polite about it. I don't like Wonder Woman. Like new Wonder Woman. I like old TV Wonder Woman. That's it. I know. It's not because it's Gal Gadot. It's because I just don't give a shit about this one. I don't know. I just don't like this one. I'm sorry. Listen, I'm short, so say, Peppy. Viking ass bitches are like, I don't know what happened. I was watching this show. I feel like it was called. Was it called The Bastard Son of the Devil Himself? I don't remember. It may have been that. It was. And that woman came on to me. I was like, oh my God. Hello? Am I okay? Somebody call the police. Call everybody. Call the fire department. I'm not all right. You're going to need to put me somewhere because things have gone a little awry. Yeah, little short people. Listen, y'all little bits. Be feisty, but I'm going to put you over my shoulder and sit you down somewhere and be like, you need to behave. I'm just kidding. Now take this lollipop and let me get back to work. No, just kidding. Behave yourself. Let me do my business. Not all of them are. It's one of them. Sure. Big bitches, yes. Listen. Because I can't yes, lollipop. People on the internet get surprised that I'm short. Listen, you and T both. You and T, everybody thinks T is tall, and then T's like, I am little. And I'm like, what? And it's just funny to me. Have y'all also heard? We will end on this before I go because listen. I feel one, I have laundry to do, and two, this is a super long live. I say as it's only an hour and 18 minutes, but still, that's probably at the Netherlands. Listen. Have y'all been hearing about the battle between the millennials and Gen Z? This is total fluff. And this will be a good spot to end on. So Gen Z has been making fun of everything that millennials do, of which I am not one. I'm a zillennial with a Z, with an X. Just leave me alone. Excuse me. So Gen Z has been dogging millennials. They're I don't know, something about a middle part. That does not apply to my black ass because middle part, side part, I do whatever I want. And we're not really talking about parts in our community. There's not a lot of conversation about whether or not because it's black hair. Anyways, mom jeans, all this stuff, right? And they're making fun of millennials. Here's where things have turned. The tides have turned, and it has gotten rough because the thing is, millennials were really happy and excited to be helpful and be we love you so much, Gen Z. We don't want to be the boomers. We want to applaud you. We want you to make it. We're so happy for you. And then to have Gen Z turn around on them like that cat you just gave some food and then they still bit your fingers. Hello? So now what's happened is the millennials, I'm not condoning it, but they have started saying back to Gen Z, why the fuck y'all look so old? How you gonna be talking shit to me? You're 22. Why do you look 35? The millennials really took it to heart with the you go low and we're gonna drag you to hell. Because to hell they dragged. Like it's, and now there's just all these TikToks. Why does Gen Z look so old? The way you're like, stop. So I'm between X and millennial, like Gen X and millennial, which is like the zillennials, the people who are like in between there. Because now there's like another one, because it's like the with like the X, and then I don't know what they call them, the new cuspers, because I was like, before they came along, I was a different cusper. Yeah, I feel like the thing is, people, I don't believe that they've never had an awkward phase. I think the difference is that they're having awkward phases. They're just not putting it on the internet. That's the difference. Like they are literally having awkward, like if you go outside, you can quite literally see someone who was Gen Z and awkward. And I guess like now we have Gen Alpha, awkward, had an awkward phase. But the thing is, they're conscious now to know what they do and do not put on the internet. So someone who is like awkward and 13 is not putting an awkward 13-year-old photo on the interwebs, because they are fully aware of how the internet works to a degree, right? So they're not putting up those like awkward like photos like we were, the inventors of the internet. They're putting up, they're like, I just did this look. And you're like, excuse me, hello? I do think that they're having right, and I think that's the thing, is a lot of people keep saying that about like these young folks and be like, they're not having an awkward phase, and I fully believe that they are having it. I just think that what we're seeing online is the representative of who they are and not who they actually are. So like out in their everyday life, they're probably experiencing awkwardness and weirdness, but here in the real world, out here on the internet, they're portraying like confidence and whatnot. And it reminds me of like all the people who are like, everybody's so afraid of aging and getting old, etc. And you see this a lot in the beauty community, where people are like, I'm so sick and tired. And people talk like there's nothing wrong with getting old. And I'm like, no, there's not. But there's also nothing wrong with, the two things can be true at one time. I don't mind getting old, but I also don't want to look like a fucking prune. Like I'm 43. There's nothing wrong with that. Like y'all, like some of y'all all or nothing shit. So like, let people live. Yeah, everyone. Like, yes. Like, and remember, and here's the thing. Remember when social media first started, when Snapchat first came around and everybody had that fucking dog filter? You know the one. Everybody had it with the big ears. And they were like, with the damn dog filter. Everybody. There wasn't anybody alive who wasn't very consistently using that dog filter at every corner. Like if you go way back in somebody's, if they haven't deleted it in somebody's Instagram feed, like who's my age and what, promise you they have that fucking photo in there somewhere. Thank you. They cool with us online, but IRL, whoo, thank you. They're still awkward. They're still weird. Especially since bullying is so prevalent on the internet. They aren't trying to have stuff on the internet forever. Exactly. Of course, we know they for having such. I see it when I get a bagel at lunch and go by the high school. Thank you. They are totally having their awkward phase. We're just not seeing it online. It's making me kind of feel a little kooky when people keep saying that, because I'm like, do you never see teenagers like at all? You don't look outside like you don't want, not in a creepy way. Don't be walking by elementaries and high schools and being a creep. I'm just saying, like, you never run into these kids. Like, you never see them get off the bus. And again, don't be a creep. Not creepy ways. My job has me in close proximity to that because I'm delivering mail and the bus. Anyways, they're weird. They are not like all wearing great makeup and doing all that. Like, no, I've seen them. They're awkward. I think the problem is we also are conditioned to looking online. And so what we are seeing too is a skewed reality of what Gen Z looks like. Just like they see a skewed reality of what we look like. Oh my God, listen. Since it's just us, and I don't feel like there's a lot of us in here, and I can't really tell how many, so it's fine. I'm going to say a controversial thing. Now, to start off, I think everybody should be allowed to do whatever it is that makes you feel that you look your best. But I am going to say that the real reason that I don't think that you should be messing around with your face and all that body shit until you're like, I don't know, I would say even into your 30s, it's because if you start fixing yourself young, when do you stop? Because I think when you're doing this, and this is obviously just an old person's idea of what I think we should consider when doing plastic surgery and Botox and filler, is like with age, everything changes. You may have a child, you may gain weight, you may lose weight. So, with that being said, you're doing this stuff to your body very, very early. And that may be why a lot of people who are 24 look like they're 34, because they didn't really allow the body to do the things. They didn't allow the normal like baby face stuff to go away like it does, unless it never does. Some people don't. It's fine. But once you figure out at a young age when your brain isn't fully formed, right? Your brain is like, your decision making is not fully formed and great yet. Once you figure out that you can just fix it, then you just never stop fixing it. Like everything becomes, I can fix that. And I don't think you ever gain an appreciation for the imperfections that you have. I'm not saying you have to love your body, because, you know, Em always, like, one of the best things that Em has ever said to me that I always keep in my mind is that, like, it's not about like loving your body. It's about just like being comfortable and being aware that it exists, but existing in harmony. Paraphrasing, but just like existing in harmony with your body. So I think that if I had gotten the kind of plastic surgery that I had wanted at the tender age, I just wanted my boobs done, but just get them like higher. I didn't want them bigger. I wanted them like higher and smaller to fit what I did not realize at the time was my non-binary standards, because that's what I like for me. Even now, if I could do it now, I would, because I've had decades to think of it at this point. But I think that when you're doing that when you're quite young, it just never occurs to you, you know, to like gain any appreciation for any of these things. You know? Yeah, you don't have to love your body, but not hating your body does wonders for you. And it does. I feel like when you're 16 and you get like the bump removed from your nose, this is why we have that Catwoman. We can all agree she looks weird, or looked weird. I'm not sure if she's still alive, because, you know, I don't be keeping up with whether or not people have lived or not. Like, I just saw Alanis Morissette the other day and I was in shock. I'm not saying she looks bad. I just didn't realize she was old. I still have Alanis, like, thank you, Alanis. That's who I see. So when I saw her the other day, I was like, holy crap. Object permanence, again, isn't just for things. It's also for people. But I feel like there's a point that we need to start realizing that, yes, everybody can do whatever they want with their body, and you have bodily autonomy. Of course you can, and of course you do, and of course you should. However, we do need to have the very real conversation about when you're doing this, when your brain is not fully formed, that you never get the concept and appreciation of your body, and you never get the concept that maybe you don't fix everything with a surgery. Oh, breast reduction sounds lovable. I'm trying to love my body now because who knows? Yeah, yeah. Body neutrality. Hell yeah. You don't. I'm an elder. Botox sucked for me. Only tried it sparingly 3 times. Worked in the wrong way. Have fun with yourself. That sounds bad. Sorry. Have fun with yourself. I do. I did earlier. Thank you. Um, yeah, being at peace with my body is so much better than the ambiguous concept of self-love. Yeah, because self-love is weird. Like, I think a lot of us do, in fact, love ourselves, right? It's just like, it's the societal pressure that's pushed onto you to feel like you have to look a certain way. And that goes for everybody, right? Like, we all just have like societal pressure that tells you that if you're a black baddie, this is how you have to look. If you're a white baddie, this is how you have to look. Like, we all get told and shown once and over again, like what we're supposed to look like. So I think that it's weird. Like, why are you 18 for getting Botox for a non-medical reason? Because like, there are people who get it for migraines. So I'm so concerned because I'm like, what do you need Botox for? What are you getting filler for? Like, you haven't even, like, your baby fat ain't even gone. Like, yeah, like your baby fat's still there. What are you doing? Chill. A girl at my daughter's school got a nose job, got a whole job, not for a car, like almost 6-year-olds, but to get a BBL. Oh my God, not a BBL. Let me reread that. Sorry, y'all. A girl at my daughter's school got a whole job, not for a car, like most 16-year-olds, but to get a BBL for graduation. Babes, that's wild. Why are you saving up for a BBL? Ooh, yeah. I was watching a video about this yesterday. They included a TikTok from a 14-year-old doing an anti-aging skincare routine. Like, what are we doing here? Yes. Like, it's very odd. And like, TikTok does have a filter, like a overfilled filter where you get like creepy cheekbones and shit. It's wild. And well, and here's the thing, because Janet was saying plastic surgeons sometimes try to get your money by trying to play into your presumed insecurities. F that. There are more and more of them, because this isn't Florida. I will say Florida is different because I don't know if it's still true, but the last time I looked, you don't even have to be licensed to do actual plastic surgery. You can just be a doctor. Anyways, but there are more and more surgeons who are like not really interested in doing that. They're like, let's go natural, because the fix later, that's the problem, as they are now realizing, they're like, let's try skincare, let's try this, let's try a million and one things that aren't doing filler and Botox and surgery, because they are beginning to realize it's coming back on them. Like the fixes, all the stuff that they're having to fix now, people wanting to have stuff dissolved, reevaluate, like they just don't want to look like that. I'm 35, used to work in hospice care, but now I'm too disabled and it's been a rough journey. Aging should be a celebrated and accepted part of life that not everyone gets to experience, period. Like, what wrinkles are you fighting? Are they in the room with us? Yeah, and like, that's why I said all the time when talking about Hiram, I know he had some kind of condition, but I was just like, I'm so sorry. I am not, I'm going to be ageist in this. I'm literally not going to take skincare aging advice from somebody who's like 20. I can't. Like, what are you talking to me about? Like and also a man. Sorry, James. But like, because I have hormones and my hormonal balances are one of the reasons why I do have multiple skincare products. And this is why I would get angry with like when young people are just over there like, you only need that. And I'm like, bitch, first of all, you don't have a wrinkle. You don't have the hormonal imbalance that I'm having right now. You don't even have the seasonal changes in your skin because you're young. You're young. I have seasonal changes. I have to have multiple different skincare products for different seasons and on my period and off of my period. And then ovulation time versus non-ovulation time. Like, you have no idea. Like, that's why I have all that crap. Your husband says he needs a BBL. Yeah, the main thing is like wear sunscreen. And I know somebody's gonna be like, and don't smoke and don't drink. That's actually genetic. So it's not true, but also the inner closet, the wrinkles, I mean. At night, it's watching her sleep. Yeah. Like, I don't understand. Thank you, Monica. I am black. Like, I wear sunscreen. I am black. And I can be one of those people. There's some people who age all at once. Up until the time that they're 70, they look 40, 45, and then at 71, it just all comes crashing down. Who knows? Yeah, like live your life. Don't be laying on your back, like sleeping on your back very specifically so that you don't mess up your face. Don't like not smile at people. Like, what are y'all doing? Like, oh, I don't use a lot of facial expressions because I don't want to age. Are you planning on becoming a vampire? Because this is the thing. This is what I'm if you're not going to become a creature of the night where you're going to live forever at this specific age, why are you denying yourself a good time? I don't get it. Andrea, same. I smoke, I drink, I wear sunscreen. I'm almost 42 and look better than I did in my 20s. Yeah, I do too. That was my mom. She aged all at once. She turned 60 and became a little old lady. Like, it's wild. Like, some people do. Like, I don't like, I think it's weird that we have a whole crew of people, like young people dedicated to like anti-aging. I'm like, babes, you're 17. And honestly, there's better things that you could be doing with your time. Like, don't you have a rave to show up at? Some illicit substances that you're not supposed to have to go do at some wild party? Don't you have things to do? And the fact that we're saying this is neurodivergent people who get accused of not being expressive, right? I can't laugh because I don't want lines. Ooh, could you imagine? Because I feel like the people who say stuff like that, when something's funny, they go like this. That was hilarious. uh, did you see that? So funny. Like, could you imagine looking at somebody like put me in the grave? Because if I walked up to and they would laugh like that, put me in the grave. I could not handle that. I could not handle like like I'm also at that age where, you just pass gas. That you don't have a choice. But anyway, this has been fun. Thank y'all so much. Like, I really appreciate y'all chilling. I might do more lives like this. And then I'll probably take them down and then cut it up into multiple videos. Not this one, but maybe this one. We'll see. It's just weird. Like, yeah. Yeah, they'll be like, at your big age? I'm like, yeah. And at your little age, you don't know not to make fun of people? At your underdeveloped mind age, you have shit to say? Out here being like, smoking is disgusting. Hitting a vape? Girl, don't talk to me. Smoking is like so gross. Like, y'all might listen. In the 90s, the thing was, you didn't shoot up, you smoked it. Now, I did not do either of these things, but I remember that is how the big H became exceedingly popular. That's the only difference between crack and H, by the way. Anyways, we'll leave you on that note. Like, that's the only difference. Why do I know that? It's literally none of your business. I hope you all have a good start to your week. I think I will be hopping on Twitch on Tuesday. We shall see. Patrons, channel members, I will also let you know the book club mid-December is when we're going to talk about the Eva Chase books. I've already started reading some other books. So anyways, that is all. That is it. Have a good rest of your week. We may watch a movie for TG. So good night. I love y'all. Big sigh. All right.